And now our continuing series on the greatest songs of all time. From 1965, the Beatles, Norwegian Wood. Now the Rolling Stone magazine writes, after the Beatles stopped playing for stadiums full of screaming girls, they had time to explore new sounds in the studio. Among their first experiments was this wry, wistful folk ballad, groundbreaking for its use of the sitar. Now the song, written by Lennon with some help by McCartney, is the tale of a late-night tryst. Lennon said the lyrics disguised an actual affair. He said, I was very careful and paranoid because I didn't want my wife, Cynthia, to know that there was something going on. McCartney further explains the title and the lyric. He said, Peter Asher, who was brother of his then-girlfriend Jane, had his room done out in wood. A lot of people were decorating their places in wood, Norwegian wood. It was pine, really cheap pine, but cheap pine, that's not as good as a title. So it was a little parody, really, on those kinds of girls who, when you'd go to their flat, there would be a lot of this Norwegian wood. So she led him on in the song, and she makes him sleep in the bathtub. And finally, in the last verse, McCartney said he had this idea to set the Norwegian wood on fire as revenge. In our world, the guy had to have some sort of revenge, he said, so I meant to burn the place down. Now, George Harrison comments on the use of the sitar. He said, I found one cheap in a shop called India Craft in London. It was just lying around. I hadn't really figured out what to do with it, and when we were working on Norwegian wood, it just needed something, and it was quite spontaneous, from what I remember. I just picked up my sitar, found the notes, and played it. John Lennon doing the double-tracked lead vocal and on acoustic guitar, George Harrison on the sitar, McCartney on vocal and bass, and Ringo Starr playing the tambourine, maracas, and some finger cymbals. And of course, you can never forget George Martin, producer and mentor. Certainly one of the greatest songs of all time from 1965, The Beatles.